Oh, what's going on? It's the Sunday sit down back with Francis. I'll give a trigger warning in case anyone who can't handle the truth or are Manchester United fans who are still just a little upset from what they've seen today and don't feel that it's time yet. They need a couple more days to process what happened. Probably turn away because it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be what you need to hear. So whether or not you want to listen now or later, I still will advise that you listen. Manchester United devoured 4-0 by Chelsea, right? So let's put things into perspective first. Positive things in the game. If you're a Chelsea fan, your manager knows how to adjust. I'll get to why Jose Mourinho won't adjust and doesn't know how to and doesn't have the personnel to adjust. But Antonio Kante, they're delivered a drubbing by Arsenal, devoured 3-0 in the first half. He changes his tactics. He's changed now to a 3-4-3, something that he has applied in the past before Juventus, and then leading into Juventus he did it as well. And if you see this system, they've now conceded 0 goals and scored 9 since he changed into that formation. That is what happens when you adapt and play to your strengths. Hazard has more freedom higher up the park, and Kante is controlling the midfield. They look stronger at the back, even though the less players. They've got 2 wide players, Victor Moses running his ass off up and down, giving everything that he wants for that jersey to the team. That's what leads me to the next point. That's a positive for Chelsea. Great victory for them. Manchester United players don't want to play for that shirt. I don't care whether you want to blame the manager, blame everything else. They don't want to play for them. Every time a Chelsea player got the ball, 5, 6, 7 yards away Manchester United players were. Do you know what happened when Manchester United got the ball? N'Golo Kante could tell you had for dinner 4 days ago. Because he was in and around your space. I would trade every single Manchester United midfielder for N'Golo Kante. Call me crazy. I don't give a shit how much Paul Pogba costs. I don't care about whether Ander Herrera looked decent a couple of games when he had to play defensive midfielder. I wouldn't replace Ander Herrera. I think he's out of his depth in that role. I don't think that's really where you get your best from him. Manchester United need a defensive midfielder. I would give my left leg plus all those midfielders if I was Jose Mourinho for N'Golo Kante. Because you can build a team around Kante. A team won the league around N'Golo Kante. You can't win a league around a complaining Paul Pogba who's gone non-existent in the big games. But oh yeah, he'll turn up against Fenerbahce with a couple of good goals. Who cares? Who cares about that? Because you know what happens when you're signed for that amount of money and you're coming in with that amount of expectation? You better deliver. Not just so much so that I'm expecting him to carry the team, but put in a shift. Don't allow the defensive midfielder who you've played with at France to play a 1-2 around you who scores a goal. When does N'Golo Kante score? When has he ever scored a goal? And Manchester United let him wander into their own box, embarrass their centre-backs, and put it into the back of the net. It's so embarrassing. And then people, the fans, Manchester United fans are like, Jose's not working for us. It doesn't matter who you put in there. Put in Jesus and he will not fix this team. Because they've got fundamental issues. And if you think I'm just blaming their midfield, no. Zlatan, you can get them back into the game if you take your chances. You missed several sitters in the past. You've missed a couple against Liverpool and now you missed another sitter here. You won't take your chances. He's not scored in 5, but no one wants to blame him because Zlatan does what Zlatan does. No, that's why I said you shouldn't have spent that money on Paul Pogba and you would have rather went out and got a Higuain who's going to bang in goals week in, week out. Not someone that you can rely on to maybe work a little bit of a wonder early on, but then fall away. He's on his worst goal scoring record for the last, 5 years since he's played at PSG? So, yeah, there's errors there. This is why it wasn't just Wayne Rooney as well, Man United fans. I like Manchester United, you know this. But I'm going to rip you apart when you have to be ripped apart. Defensively, it's shambolic. The first goal, Smalling and Blin. Blin's not a fullback. Why do you think I'm telling Manchester United fans, I don't care how good his delivery is. Players are playing out of their positions. Valencia is a natural going forward right mid, playing it right back. Blin's a natural, for me, a more defensive midfielder player, or even a centre back, playing left back. Fellaini, fuck knows what his position is, but he upsets the fluency in the middle of that park. They have no fluidity when they knock the ball around. It's almost like a building Legos with Manchester United. And Fellaini is a big, massive, shitty Lego that doesn't fit any other pieces on it. You just stick him in there. And he's got nothing else to do with. That's the only analogy I can think of. So Manchester United have clear fundamental problems. And here's the harshness. One point from your big 3 games so far this season. Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City. You still come up against Arsenal, who if you play like that, they'll devour you. You have no shot at winning this Premier League. No shot playing like that. Absolutely no chance. And the only thing that you can take from it is that Manchester City are struggling as well, so they're not gaining the gap that they should have gained on you by points dropped. They're struggling themselves. So Manchester United are really, really struggling. Chelsea, however, one of my tips to look out for this season, no other exterior problems to worry about, no European football, nothing else, just focus on the league. And they were complaining, teams were saying, Chelsea after their loss to Arsenal, it's up and down. That is the Premier League, you have to learn from your mistakes, and Antonio Conte learned from his mistakes and made things change. The other thing that I'm going to highlight is, I highlighted this on other platforms, you know those players that were upset that Jose Mourinho wasn't being, I don't even know how to put it, wasn't giving them the respect when they were in, and they weren't giving him the respect either. They were considered the rats, Eden Hazard and Diego Costa. They just ripped you apart, Jose. They ripped apart your back line. So whether or not you think that Eric Bailly is the next big thing, him and Smalling, they're seeping gaps everywhere. There is massive holes in that back line. Massive holes. So it's rightfully so. You see Phil Neville ripping apart Pogba, Herrera, ripping apart anyone. But Manchester United fans will defend their favourites when realistically, we blame Van Gaal, which he deserved to be blamed. He let the numerous strikers go and didn't have anyone to come in and replace him. But you have to really look into the players and the overall fundamentals that make any footballer good, which is hard work, and doing things intelligently. Manchester United are doing things so unintelligently it's almost hard to watch. In the midfield, that last goal from N'Golo Kante, I just don't even know how to say it. Hazard's goal's bad enough. Juan Mata, you're not expecting him to kind of follow runners, but still, mate, Hazard's going to play it and move. No one picks him up and he wanders through. It's an easy finish. N'Golo Kante's goal was literally watching under sevens. Like he ghosted his way into the box. I don't care how defensive you think he is. He ghosted his way in and he took it well. So Pedro shined as well, another player that was doubted under Jose Mourinho. So there's some real problems with Manchester United, and I've already wasted enough energy. But the next thing, just to wrap up, the rest of the Premier League is Bournemouth hold Tottenham, so they drop points. Arsenal drop points and Man City drop points. It's the best weekend to play your shitest ever game, United. So there's the last positive you can take from that. Liverpool get a good win against West Brom. Looked very comfortable in the first half. West Brom got a goal back. But Chelsea proved that Manchester United are very, very mediocre. And that's about all I have to say on this matter. Come on, you boys in green. Nice 1-0 win. Last minute goal. Dembele, you won't see a better goal this week, so you can check that out. Nice flick. I'll catch you guys soon.